Welcome back to Goblins of Conquest.
Hi, this is Kelly, aka Trixie from Ragnarok and Roll, assigned to Ragnarok Story, and Tilda Wimblewick from D&D Journey of the 5th Edition. First off, I would just like to say thank you to everyone for listening to our varied adventures, as well as for rating us on iTunes and RPGpodcast.com. If you haven't rated us yet, we would greatly appreciate it if you could. And if you're looking for more ways to support our efforts, we are now on Patreon, a great site where you can help us continue making more podcasts, as well as some special surprises for our patrons. If you can, please look us up at www.patreon.com/cppn. Every little bit helps. And again, thank you for listening.
So did you guys want to go for the finishing line of the dungeon? Did you want to go on a side track that we will ad hoc really quick? Maybe you wanted to go check out that Underdark corridor after you burned all the Russell mold out of that area.
We could do that.
Did you really burn all the mold? Did you?
Yeah, I don't know.
Pour more oil on the fire.
Just like, wait. I thought that Russell mold we're going to save at least some of that so we could send some of the other the only numbered goblins and have them go play with the humans.
Honestly, that's a great tactic to use if you send a goblin with Russell mold into the human community.
Oh, yeah.
He goes into the inn and bad things happen.
Infects them, gets killed, comes back.
Paladins get
immune to disease.
If we're within a certain range of him, doesn't he give us a bonus or something?
I don't think at this level. At higher levels, he does the aura thing.
No, I think we should not mess with the mold until we're like a little higher level. To be honest.
But keep at least some of it there for to play with later.
Right.
It's mold. Who are we kidding?
Yeah.
No matter what you do,
you can't really get rid of it all.
Come back.
Well, didn't the rangers say you could harvest it?
Yeah.
You knew how to take care of it?
Yeah, I definitely was something along those lines. Or were you? Are you? I think you were putting words in my mouth.
He'll put a handful in his pocket. Call it George.
I think the bugbear would convince the goblin.
I can see the bugbear outsmarting the goblin here.
It's like,
with scare tactics, if not anything else.
I mean,
you did say this, right? So by third level, divine magic throwing makes you immune to disease. So that's him. Yeah, so it's probably like 5th or 6th level or something, where he could. There was something.
So like
I haven't played a paladin yet.
Yeah, I remember in 3rd there used to be the aura where it's really nice that you protect from poisons and disease. It's like, hey, we don't worry about that shit here.
Right. Well, I have played paladin. It was just about 2 years ago. One shot.
Don't exactly get deep into the class skills.
Right. One and done.
No. One and done is the worst way to do it.
Right? I've got so many. You've had so many.
We just had our second Star Wars group that was supposed to be a one-shot. Now it's a campaign. They had their first one-shot to try the system. And instead of showing up and playing the pre-gen characters, they all started making their own characters. That was your first sign you're in trouble. When they're making the characters. Granted, the nice thing is there's a guy by the name of Ugg Dude, who's got a character generator that in like 10 minutes you can make a character up. And they just print.
Okay. Very cool.
And then you print some PDFs to print up the stuff you can't legally print out. And boom, you're done.
Yeah.
They're playing all gray Force users. Not Jedi, but Force users.
Nice.
All hunting a douchebag Jedi hunter. Because, he killed and took a trophy from each of their family members. The looks on their faces, and I'm like, which body part did he take?
Oh, wow.
I like Grey Force, so.
Gray Jedi are the best.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, one of the DMs in Amtem kept posting about his Asian campaign he was running for his home group, and when it ended, several of us kept harassing him. He needed to run it for us online.
Uh-huh.
And then finally he did, and that turned into a campaign. Because we got to play one session, and then we docked him into a campaign, so...
Masters of Heaven?
Yeah.
Because there's no such thing as just a one shot. You can
Right.
get away with it. There's no such thing
Yeah.
as a one
No.
shot. So I'm going to go over here and clean off the mat real quick. Well, you all are here. And I'm going to throw out the question of the day for RPG today while I'm doing that. How about that? You like that? Is that tricky?
Are we 6? Already.
We are on the 6th.
I'm going to let them answer because I've answered.
You can always amend your answer.
Amend my answer?
Yeah, we did a
Or-
video on it already, so.
Mm-hmm. I know. I've yet to catch up on everybody's posts.
Oh my
so
gosh,
far.
yeah. And every year it gets worse.
Yeah, he's like,
It
I
gets
really
better.
feel
It's
bad. It's like, I really feel bad. I haven't caught up yet. Like, there's a lot to catch up on.
Hey, when everybody's doing videos, that's like 3 hours of stuff to watch every day.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you're like at midnight trying to get that video out before midnight passes.
Well, no, see, there's a reason why I have a channel and yet nothing on it, because there's just...
How can a GM make the stakes important?
Are you sure? Because I've got how can players make worlds real is the 6th. So, oh yeah,
We're
on
6.
We're on 7. Yeah. Because I already posted the 6th too.
Well, today's
So you're right.
Today
Can
is
it-
the 6th.
How can a GM make the stakes important?
They gotta be T-bone. And at least, inch and a half thick.
Woman's got to have her standards.
Oak, maybe maple.
Right?
It's supposed to be white ash.
So have you done this question already?
Hmm?
It's still recording.
He's got the report on it.
Oh. So you started it?
Yeah.
Okay.
You guys can start. Anytime.
So Daniel's the first in order, or Michael is?
I'm thinking Dan's first one. We'll throw him out there.
So how does the GM make it report?
How does the GM make the stakes important?
Cooking them well. No,
Right.
You can't take my joke. I already said it.
no. You described what the state needed to be. I described how to be prepared. I was expanding on your joke. I'm not terribly creative. Making sure that the players know that it's part of a larger story. That it's not just. I've always enjoyed, all the stories are tied together rather than disconnected serials.
Even if it's episodic, it's connected.
An overarching story that's going on within each episode. That's all you get from me. Tell me.
I'll go next. Yeah, because recently a different campaign system, but at one point we're stranded on a place. We found a settlement from a completely different nation, and they went ahead and let us be there for a little while. And then, the GM kind of gave a little, all right, you can kind of throw your own secret ballot votes into the council for deciding the route that this town takes. And we're like, all right, well, the armory was more important than the library at one point. And that meant that we were able to buy some gear. But no, we can't really enchant anything. It's like, there's hospitals, but there's no law. So it's martial law kind of thing. So there's bandits, but everyone's healthy. Right. Like those were pretty surface level things, but there was definitely some notions of we were kind of giving those very, very decision points things, and there could also be some future things going on too.
Like that.
You will play your fiat.
Yeah.
Which that is an important one, giving the players control of the world, because it's not an MMO where pretty much you're on your set little track and you don't.
Spoon fed.
Yeah.
The storyline.
Yeah. I saw into it. I saw into these decisions, but I'm like, I know what the character is going to do, and me as the player knows the repercussions.
Right.
But that's what the player has to cope with.
Yes.
Making the stakes important. There's different ways you can look at it. I think that, like in a quest line, making the stakes important. I've already used this portion, so making it personal, but making it important, getting player investment is important. So in order to do that, possibly tying the characters together and through, character questionnaires, building the backstory so that they're intertwined, but then using that and building off of that to ensure that their investment is, there's stakes involved, if they don't do this. Meaning, if they don't follow through with the story or take action in some way, they're going to lose something major. So it's kind of similar to what you were saying, I think. Just said differently.
Repercussions.
Yeah.
If you decide in front of the bandits instead of the Red Dragon's going to go do something.
Right?
He's going to burn down the town that makes the alchemy potions, so now healing potions have gone up 200%.
Right?
That makes an investment.
Or he burns down the caravansary that keeps stuff on the road coming to the different tributaries.
So now the adventurers have to be hired as guards to make sure that doesn't happen again.
Right?
Or worse yet, the king's son was on that caravan and killed by a dragon. So the king now sees every dragon as an evil monster, including the good dragon that's like patron of the players.
Right? The silver dragon.
And then the king wants to kill that too. Wizard dice.
Yes,
wizard dice. The best dice ever. Except for when you roll them and they keep rolling and rolling and rolling and rolling.
What do you think? How do you keep the stakes important, not the steak of beef?
Honestly, I have really never even thought about it, and I don't think of the game in that perspective. I think if I'm understanding it correctly.
How do you like a GM to get you invested in the story?
Well, for instance, we had a really good bit of roleplay last night in the game, and I thought that was really great because it's becoming more and more loose, I guess. It doesn't seem like the game is as uptight as you're getting further on. So I think when you have more of a story and not always hack and slash, that becomes investment right there, because you have, as somebody who listens to podcasts all day long, and I listen to games, I get invested in the story, not just the action. And I could sit there and I can listen to them and say, oh, I rolled this and I rolled that, and I'll be like, oh, or yeah. But then, it comes to the story plot and you're like invested in it so much. And as a player, I know that from that perspective, you get invested just as much. So if the person running, gives that time for character building on that level, and your players are going to be invested in the game even more.
I definitely agree with that one.
Keeping the stakes important, so because they're invested in it.
Right.
That's a good one. Because that way it's equal partnership and ownership of the story.
Absolutely. You're the guide, but we're the ones that are on this, roller coaster.
I'm painting the scenery, you're filling in the gaps.
Absolutely.
Which is everything.
Right. Because, when you're telling the story of us being in these tunnels and we're seeing, the mold.
The mold.
For instance, or the greenhouse.
Mm-hmm.
The theater of the mind, you envision it, you see it, you're like, okay, yeah, it's on the little map there, but then if it's told properly and you're invested in it, and you've got stakes in the story, then you're seeing the trees in there. You're seeing little, whatever.
The twig blades.
Right.
Yeah.
Are they troll stakes?
Banging.
Huh?
Are they troll stakes?
No.
Because
That'd be
you
gross.
can feed yourself for a long time on
That'd
troll
be
stakes.
gross. That'd be gross. Well, I mean, as a
And
hobgoblin,
keep feeding.
as a hobgoblin, I guess that would work. But
Troll is a completely different species than hobgoblin.
yeah, right. It's not cannibalism.
I cut the part
The other
you're
green
keen
meat.
off of.
I have an idea that for our keep, guys.
Hey, you've got to have some long-term plans here if you're going to move into this place.
No, and seriously, even though we're playing an evilish campaign, evil from whose perspective?
Yeah, you're just being a survivalist. It's not evil from your point of view.
Right.
You're an oppressed people.
Exactly. I mean, sooner or later, all these fools bow down to my God.
Yeah.
It's true.
The problem is, every other weekend, you had these young yokels trying to prove that they're badass, pulling up in their pickup truck with a six-pack, trying to kick into your dungeon door to prove that they're real men that aren't men yet, just because you look different.
We should have a room to deposit them in.
Well, what was
I think we found one last time.
The mold kid.
I think it was worse when they could grab a goblin and pick on him, string him up,
That's our
torture him.
job.
Yeah.
Yeah, even
our
when the
job.
drow says not to do it, leaves town and comes back and finds out they strung him up.
Right?
Most heart-wrenching story ever.
Oh, yeah, no. I don't even think Aconite sees it as justification, but I figured it was like backstory wise, he was going ahead and any of those trade caravans coming through, it's like you're coming through my forest. That's my stuff now. I'm taking it from you. I'm taking it because it's now mine. He's not even justifying it, as
The entitled ownership.
yeah.
I feed
your
here.
woods.
This is my woods.
Yeah. You're the ones that come in and pillage my trees.
Quite literally raised by wolves, so
Right.
It's a territorial
yes,
thing.
it is.
From that perspective, it's okay, so I don't understand why you have such a problem with me because I'm just doing what comes natural.
No. It's his nature intended.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And see, that is part of the whole meta story plot. Is you guys are going to be finding out what is the nature of a goblin. Why are goblins the way they are? Somewhere, I think, in the history, there's an elf to blame.
There was an elf.
There's an elf to blame. Think about it. There's that goblin-elf racial anger. I mean, why is it that goblins hate elves even more than orcs?
It's the bugbears.
Yeah. Bugbears, the murder mist bears, as the elves probably call them. All you know is this murder drop bear came out of the trees and did an extra 2d6 before we even saw him coming.
Who said bugbears had stealth? I'll take it. I'm just saying.
Were the orangutan arms not enough?
Right.
Everything cool?
Yeah. Sort of.
Sort of.
Nothing that a brain transplant wouldn't help.
Okay, or electroshock.
For my staff, yes. My clients, no.
Okay, so have we decided, are we going to go on a side venture, or did you want to power through? It all comes down to, you want to cut them out at this part of the story while they're protecting your rear, making sure nothing comes through the mold?
Yeah, but
I think we should level up and do a side adventure. Well, level after we do the side adventure, and then they can lump along and head up.
well, honestly, if we're going to go on through, we really do need the other two. So
Yeah.
Well, we could probably do the other
we need
one.
our
but
rogue.
The ranger could do it a pinch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't lock the door before.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it was already unlocked.
He's
No.
an amazing lockpick.
No. My that smudge on my hand was already there.
Don't mind the blood.
There was no mark on the door.
Yeah.
Spit polish. Why is the door so shiny right there? We don't talk about that.
Okay. So, I don't know.
Yeah, I'd be fine with the side path.
I'm powering through, but
And this is how we create interplayer conflict.
I know, right?
Then the group breaks into two separate groups, one that goes on ahead,
heck no.
one that goes on a side quest.
Do not split the party. No.
Well, I mean,
The Goblin Fellowship is broken.
we could do this. The Paladin could definitely power through while we take the side quest. He is emboldened by his deity.
His god's
Even
got
though
his back.
it's the wrong one.
Right.
Meanwhile, his god's
I
back.
guess
Going,
we're all
dude,
to
you
agree.
shouldn't have done that.
Right? Yeah, I think that it'd be probably a little better if we just did a side quest. And the reason for that is that, there's that
That way they don't miss out
crescendo
on it.
of the final fight.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
That way
That-
they're not
that's
missing
kinda-
out.
I get where you're coming from in the fact that you
Completion.
snooze, you lose. But
Two people, 1/3 of the party missing out on
Yeah.
the enjoyment. We were just talking about those sorts of things.
but we are a big party.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes. Evil party. You tied them up and left them as bait for anything coming through the mold.
No, I
We are an evil
say
party.
we make them babysit the goblins upstairs.
There could be that. You could send the hobgoblin upstairs to make sure the troops aren't getting uppity.
Yeah.
Aconite's going to have to go up.
Yeah.
Get babysat upstairs.
What?
Just hop on his back.
I'm just like a little fussy child. I don't want to go to bed.
Right?
Tired though.
I don't want to do it.
You can't make me.
Agreed. Yeah.
Right. I'll just pick him up.
Yeah.
Put him up
Because
there.
I will tell you that while you guys were taking that long rest, as I shrink the map, it takes up less space. In that big hexagon room with the mushrooms,
The map changed.
the map actually,
Well shifted.
the archaeologist in the group said they've been digging in the wrong place and realized there's a concealed door there.
He's the archaeologist.
He's the archaeologist.
Yes.
Way
Yes.
to go there, genius.
I picked the background that's with us still. Because now that, you guys are taking that long rest.
Well,
You take the
Somebody
long
had to do
rest. You had that beautiful bonfire over here in the alleyway that's probably still warm. And that's why you guys aren't moving on.
right?
As the,
Oh yeah. That's right.
as the rogue is sneaking around doing something, who knows what. Maybe she covered herself in ash and she's running down there like a ninja.
I bet you she finds a tree. She'll find the tree and
Climb
hide in it.
Out of nowhere, she will spring out and say, "I have picked its pockets. I found an apple." Don't ask where he hides things.
All right.
It's disturbing.
Or you turn around and you see the rogue come back and go, "Oh," with some tree sap come out of his mouth, and then shit just got real.
I'm dead.
Turned into the tree zombie.
Yeah. We have a new pet.
I don't know why. I'm not dead.
Tree zombie. Just keep her away from flesh and blood people.
I don't think she would like that very much. Be
I
like,
think she might take offense to that.
yeah.
No? Don't make a decision.
We haven't offended anybody recently.
It's like cleric's not high enough to save your life.
I know, I'm just playing.
Do what? The
The
cleric's
cleric's
what?
not high enough to bring her back to life.
No, not yet.
Not yet.
I still have a little ways. I got Spare the Dying. That's about it.
Hey, Spirit of Dying, that's an amazing power. I'm sorry. It's amazing. How many times have people not died because of one little slap on the foot spell?
You're like,
So if somebody had
No, not for you.
somebody had cancer,
No.
you could just
to me, it's
continue to
not
cast
like.
Spare the Dying.
It's more like.
Yeah.
It's just miserable.
Yeah.
Keep bringing
That's
it
how
back.
you get Deadpool. You're alive, but you look like hamburger meat.
Interesting note, we need to do that.
For science!
Right?
Because we can double it.
Ooh.
Rinse repeat.
Here,
That would be
Eat
ugly.
this mushroom. Inhale this.
Don't worry, it won't kill you, I promise.
You honestly make that promise.
You spare the dying, it won't kill you, kid.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Right?
Until they wake up and say, kill me.
No. That's what you tell them no.
Not today.
That's right. There's My Hero Academia. I was recently reading about like something where like someone had the power to like they really invigorated their healing, but you could tire them out. It's like, oh, that's right. That's the nurse in My Hero Academia.
Oh my gosh, she is so funny.
Yeah.
That's just good.
She's like,
You cannot
But,
wait today.
Like the limitation of her power was
Yeah.
along the lines of like, no, if they're terminal, they're still terminal.
yeah.
Is that a war form?
Well, yeah, do you see it?
Well, that's why she can't she can't heal All Might.
Yeah.
So.
Is that a Warforged?
It's actually from the Gears of War game.
Oh, okay.
It's
Oh,
one of
okay.
the big bad guys from Underground with his chainsaw staff. Because you need to make a chainsaw staff because, well, you know.
You've already got chainsaw guns.
Yeah.
Right?
So you just need to
And
have
someone else already has a chainsaw sword, so we got to one off them.
Yeah, you can't steal 40K's
Right.
chainsaw sword.
By putting two
So,
of
so
them.
you become scary organic bad guy with chainsaw staff.
It's like, we got to one up them. Yeah, okay. Mine
You
is
have-
bigger than yours.
I need a chainsaw ballista that shoots my chainsaws through the air.
No, hold on.
Chainsaw
Chainsaw staff,
polo.
isn't it? Yeah. A limb saw.
But it's got one on both ends.
It's double.
It's double-headed.
Because Darth
Okay.
Maul taught us double is always better.
Yes.
Right.
Okay, so I can get that by going to Home Depot and buying two.
Yeah.
Some duct tape.
Dead Rising 2. There is quite literally a weapon you can craft together. You put two swords on the end of a canoe paddle.
Oh my god.
Okay, in this case, just use chainsaws.
Well, no, you're swimming through the zombies with this.
So you can just swath through them. Dead Rising. Oh god. Now there's a game for modern. Concrete pole and a car battery. You now have an electrified hammer.
Wow.
It's-
Concrete pole.
Yeah. You bust the pole out of the concrete, which is a knob of concrete, strap on the battery to it, wrap some wire around it.
Then they went completely realistic with the vehicles for the third one,
What?
in which you can put if you have a motorcycle and a steamroller together, you have a flaming motorcycle with a steamroller on the front just run over.
I can see it.
It sounds totally legit.
Yeah.
You just put them together, push a button, and they're there. It's there.
Oh, geez.
You start being able to, you're able to.
I can
Combined
only imagine
vehicles
the
met with
spoke
the
for that
third
front
game.
wheel.
That wireframe spent as wide as it can get.
Yeah, right.
So you guys finished your long rest. Obviously, the rogue and the fighter/hexblade is securing your rear as the archaeologist whipped out his little brushes. Because you have your archaeologist kit, right?
Yes, I do.
And he started brushing one of the walls where he saw a little bit of mosaic. And all of a sudden realized that this mosaic was just goblin finger painting over mud that was on what he discovered to be a very finely crafted stone door. So as soon as you clear it off and you get the rest of the fungus out of the way, you know that there's a door there.
I wonder if it's trapped.
Oh, yeah.
Well, since the rogue is nowhere to be found. Next.
Yeah, I know. I'm like.
We only have one more expendable goblin in the group.
Right. Somebody needs to put a belt on the rogue.
That's right. She just disappeared.
Unfortunately, when you put the bell on her, you didn't realize the little ringer inside is removable, so she's taking that part out.
Just in case she listens to it, gee, sure wish we had a rogue about now.
Right. Yeah. I like what is it to check the door again?
Basically investigate.
Investigation. Oh, my investigation is 0. I was hoping it'd be like a little more dexty. Oh, but I got 17.
So you start looking at the door. You basically you're poking your eye into the keyhole. You're looking around. You're like, this door seems safe. You seem 100% certain this is safe. Beyond a shadow of a doubt.
But I am small, and I look up to the big guy with the shield.
I'm spirit of dying. Ready?
So,
Less
I feign that the door's a little too hard for me to push open, though. I'm not a very good actor, by the way. I can't quite open it, but it's safe.
I can almost see you turning to him doing the uppy thing.
I will attempt to open the door.
Okay, go ahead and give me a strength check as you try to bust the door open.
So 17.
17? Oh, you grab that door, you do that whole, you twist the knob at first to make sure it's actually unlocked, not unlocked. And then you just put your weight into pulling that door in, and you just, the door comes busting open, and you see it just drag some of the dirt that was in the way of it clear. So you got that little swoop of dirt now out of the way. And you just see a dusty set of stairs that go up about 7 feet.
So I'll do a little perception.
Which is quite interesting because, this room is like 20-foot ceilings in here.
Yeah, I'll do a little perception check. Peek around in there. 17 plus 4, 21.
Okay, for your sneak or your perception?
I was not being sneaky. I went in. I was curious. I looked right up once the doors open.
Okay. So as he's pulling it, you're sticking your head and looking, and you look up there, and you see a lot of scratches about in here, but it does not look like there's anything in here. Oh no, it doesn't look like rat scratches, unless they're really big rodents of unusual size.
Well, that's not a possibility.
Yes. Some tree blighty scratches, some cobalt weapony scratches.
You had a 17. It doesn't quite look like. It looks like someone used a lot.
It was 17 on the die. It's 21 total.
Oh, even better.
Yes.
It definitely does not look like tree blights in it because you realize with their wood they would have left sap marks or something. It seems like something clean and hard, like stone or metal, did the scratches, and they look very much like almost like claws. If something had really hard claws that left lots of little hand scratch marks in the stone. Remember, the inside of the door is stone too.
Yeah.
You can see the inside. It's got scratches going down, like something tried scratching its way through the stone door.
Don't dead open inside.
Right.
I don't watch the show. I don't watch the show, and I know where that's from.
That's good.
I stopped watching that show. But yes.
Yeah, that's the episode I stopped watching it on.
Aww.
It slowed down way fast.
Oh yeah.
Also, it didn't help that my DVR kept cutting out while I was recording it, so I was like, ooh.
I'll go in the room.
Okay. So the paladins walk in the room. What are you guys doing?
I will follow closely behind him. Boa, be ready?
You guys are doing a great job.
I'll go in next.
As your wizard and resident advisor.
He could be squishy outside. I don't care. I'll go in next.
I'm going to take another direction into the room then.
The what?
Use the staff.
You don't have that ability yet. So if they're global, you get those.
Yeah, we're just going to come in real handy.
Oh, I didn't bring that book.
No, I said I wanted to go into a different direction in the room that everyone else was checking.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to start using my reach with my quarterstaff, because technically if I'm tapping the floor for something, trying to see if it's hollow or what have you.
Okay, go ahead and give me a perception check.
Ah, 4?
4?
Mm-hmm.
So you start poking around, and all of a sudden, because you're poking around here, as you're poking around the wall, walking back and forth, tapping the wall, they're looking at you kind of weird as they're going off without you. You actually hear a crumbly sound. It's like almost like moist, wet dirt as you poke, and it just starts crumbling. revealing another stone door
Over here?
over here. So we've officially split the party.
Oh, I meant in the room, but that's fine.
Oh, okay. Stairs go up to here.
I'm going to leave it for now and come back to the other room with the party.
Okay, so you're joining them,
Mm-hmm.
giving them a nice head start.
Right.
So as you come up here, you notice this door is slightly ajar. It's another really nice stone door, but it looks like it's been beaten pretty well, and it's kind of like tilted on its axis. And how quiet are you being? At no point did anyone say stealthy.
Not terribly.
At no point had he thought of being stealthy.
Yeah.
Didn't enter his mind.
It's a long dead crypt. Why do I have to be stealthy?
I'm wearing chainmail, carrying a sword, and a shield.
Yeah, you are not stealthy.
It's not really my thing.
You can try to be stealthy.
Clicks and pops.
Clank, clank.
That's
It's
okay.
not as loud as
I'm wearing
Blade,
scale
but
mail.
there's noise.
Yeah.
I'm wearing scale, so
I will say the scratches have probably tempered some of Akani's curiosity, so he's going to start at least trying to be a little sneaky. Oh, and he's not at all. I roll a critical 1.
Somehow
That's
the subject is
skill,
making more noise than the one that's just there.
I'm telling myself, be quiet, be quiet, be quiet.
out loud.
Yes,
I am super sneaky.
I am super stealthy. I am one with the night. I am the Batman.
I shouldn't have eaten that rat.
I hate when I'm stealthy and flatulently at the same time. So in what order are you guys traveling?
Well, I was third.
Yeah, I think it was Pally Ranger Road Wiz. Oh, not Pally Ranger.
I'll use that one. At a distance, kind of, sort of.
I don't care.
I used this one last time, so.
He doesn't care which one.
Uh-oh.
We need a goofy one.
There's a goblin in a wedding dress.
Right?
There's
Here we
a
go.
ghost in the
The
way.
barmaid with the come hither.
There we
Yes,
go.
there we go. All right. I was assuming we were approaching the door. Yeah.
Yep, because as you come up, it's about a 7-foot rise of the stairs, and you see the door slightly ajar. As you come up, you're just...
Lizard? Sorry, please continue.
No, it's okay. As you're just about to get almost within arm's reach of the door comes flying open.
Okay.
Go ahead and give me a dex save to see if you get out of the way in time.
I just popped out. Just trying to pop it back in. There we go.
You made a death saving throw?
Dex.
Already?
So 17.
17? Okay, so as you do, the door flies open, and you do the little, hippy hop back, so you're just out of the way of the door. As all of a sudden, a skeleton comes just blindly flaying itself, almost, zombie-ish towards the noise it's hearing.
My bad.
And it's not alone.
How many is?
I can tell you, you know for sure there are a few more in there.
Mom?
Bring your mini back into play. Okay, everybody roll initiative.
You're tied in the back. That doesn't sound
Damn
good.
it!
Who's growling up there?
I need to
Clickety clack of skeleton teeth. All super excited that there's movement again. Who knows how long they've been sitting there waiting for that door to be opened.
No.
Ooh, I don't have these on. Moment when I figure out I did something
Alright.
wrong.
Okay, so what'd you get for initiative?
9.
Okay.
23.
Oh, Jesus. What did our cleric get? A mighty 4. It's a strong healing 4, I sense. And the paladin who's
16.
got 16? Aw, that dice ain't doing the great things it did before. No natural 20s. I got a couple of those yesterday on Sunday.
On me. Both.
Oh boy.
Good times. Okay, so Tithe is first.
Tithe is first.
Good thing he can share space with that goblin if he wants to.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. But there's a hobgoblin, Hebjeb in the way.
Jeb. You can always reach over him.
True. True. Alright, so that's 15.
Here, this could be. Oh, I don't know if that'll balance. That's me when we're cooking.
Right. There we go.
You in a moose bush mode.
He does have a wider base.
Mhm.
And I do have a 5-foot reach, so technically I'm...
You can go right over his head. And it's got the door wide open, and it's like... It's got this horrible, horrible, broken, sharp, spiny sword. You know, it's all jagged and disgusting looking. You know, skeleton's got rotted leather armor and little patches of brown, gray everywhere.
Not for long. I'm going to wreath my blade in green flame.
Okay. You go lightsaber
and
on him?
strike. And not strike. For an 8.
So you basically hold up your light stick to light the paladin's way.
Right?
Okay, so you...
Very kind of you.
It is.
And,
That's how I roll. So.
and of course the eerie green light bathing the skeleton, you know.
Mm-hmm.
See, look. The picture even has eerie green light on the skeleton.
Nice.
Yeah, it
Worked
was going
out.
to happen.
I planned that.
Yeah. So you swing and you miss.
Yep.
But you do light up the shot for the paladin.
So it's not in the doorway yet?
It's smashed the door open, and it has not stepped through yet.
Okay, I'm going to step into the doorway,
Okay.
and I'm going to cast Shield of Faith.
Oh, okay. So you cast Shield of Faith on yourself?
Yep.
So what does your Shield of Faith for a tyrant look like?
Just like the armor growing spikes and blades.
Okay, so it just
Before
gets all
fading out,
sudden
it just-
menacing and... Okay. Casting menacing shadows across it. Okay. So you're standing there now, coithed in your magical armor.
Yeah.
It's always nice to say coithed. So, Ranger. It is Ranger danger time.
All right.
Do better.
Yes.
The bugbear was also lighting your way.
Yeah. I know. I'm basically looking.
Get in
I'm wondering if
there.
I should pop Hail of Thorns and get the two and target the one in the middle. Get the guy. Yeah, I'll go ahead and pop Hail of Thorns.
Okay.
And so I'll target. I think it's and that's just to make sure it's creatures, right? Yes, creatures. So yeah. So I'll go ahead and target this guy with my arrow.
Okay.
Let's see. We got a natural 20.
That'll kind of hit.
Kind of.
If it misses, we're all screwed.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's the radius of your Hail of Thorns when it hits?
5 creatures within 5 feet.
Okay.
So the arrow itself will do max on the arrow is 11.
Okay. Will you still roll for damage?
Yeah. Oh.
You get the extra die though.
Oh, okay. That's okay. I was playing Gamma World, and that was the max damage rules. I forgot. Okay. Well, it still works out to be 11.
11 points.
Yeah.
As your arrow explodes, it just pockmarks the skeleton full. I mean, there are holes going through it, ribs missing. It's got darts sticking into its jowls. You know, it's It's like, I haven't even gone yet.
Yeah.
It's kind
And
of
now-
like a
And how much-
hobgoblin in the morning.
And then for the Hail of Thorns, they must make a dex save versus 12.
Oh, good lord. Okay. Pink dice is the one in the dress. Ooh, what's your DC?
12.
Yeah, not so much.
All right. I only rolled a 4 points of damage to in the burst.
So this one explodes. Just your arrow went through him, and then it exploded out, and his bones become part of the fragment. And how much did this one?
4.
Okay, and you shoot that arrow, and it just explodes him. He just
Oh.
exploded. Exploded.
So both of them explode.
Well, this one's
Or,
still...
okay. No.
The one your arrow hit, when
Okay.
when the thorns exploded out,
Yeah.
it just piffed,
Oh, yeah.
vaporized.
Okay, but the other one's still standing, but it's he got hit.
Yep,
He looks
he's
like a
pockmarked.
He's bummed.
He looks like a Pokemon.
And it's their turn.
Isn't Shield of Faith a bonus action?
That's for the paladin to know at second level. I'm not gonna plume in on that one.
Just say it.
So says the magic guy. He's like, hey, I made my Arcana check. So this skeleton is going to actually go for a grapple with you, because he's going to try to push you out of the doorway.
Wants to give you a kiss.
Bastard.
Give you some teeth.
So go ahead and give me a
He's got a
opposed
loose lip hanging
athletics
there.
or acrobatics check. Ooh, shit just got serious. Nope.
Oh man.
He has no bonus, but you rolled a 19. So this skeleton just grabs on and just clenches you.
Actually, you're a hobgoblin.
Do you want to say face?
Yeah, that would be no.
I've been out wrestled by a skeleton.
This looks bad.
Okay, so burn your saving face, and as it grapples you, it starts to grab you and pull you into a grapple where it was going to drag you into the room, and all of a sudden you just like, nope.
That looks bad. Stop.
Because you don't want to be wrestled by a guy with no muscles. You don't want to be out wrestled by a guy with no muscle. And the skeleton, as soon as you do that, it's going to actually step back in.
Shut the
Go away.
And it steps back in
No
for some
solicitors.
weird, odd reason.
You're not interested. Let's shut the door.
No solicitors.
Okay.
Okay? Do you want to take an attack of opportunity, or do you have no bonus actions left?
I didn't take bonus action, so I will take a swing at it.
Okay. I was wondering that you let me move away from you really fast.
13.
13, that will hit. Sounds just like that one, when your sword hit him.
So 12.
12 points. As you smash into him and just take one of his arms off, gouge your weapon through his ribs, he looks like hell. But he's still there.
Okay.
And the ominous whooshing sound in this cavern is abated. The AC. Okay, so,
So you didn't move. You just
nope.
swung at him as he stepped out.
And this one's going to come at you.
Okay.
This one, it's got, the grayish red stuff on him. Oh yeah, that's right. Nobody really
You need a
perceives too
smoking
well.
jacket? Or?
More like mold.
Oh God, it's a
Oh, it's a mole.
And he's gonna swing on you, because that's what he does.
Oh. I think he just
And-
broke his arm.
And instead swings on the door, and his sword just shatters when it hits the door. And then it makes this really sickly attempt to step back. With
Oh, you already used one.
with a broken handle that was once a sword at one point.
But that also means that I can strike with an attack of opportunity because he's within 5 feet of me.
You're in this square.
Oh, he's actually on top of the goblin.
Yeah, but right here, remember, you moved into the doorway. You stepped forward.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So Dan's in your threatening square right now.
I can hit Dan.
Yeah, you could hit the hobgoblin. If you hit the hobgoblin now, none of the other hobgoblins will notice, right?
Aconite will know.
It stays between us.
This is done.
He's like,
What do you think? I'm not paying attention or something?
you're just waiting for someone's hit points to drop. It's like in WoW, you're just looking at the life bars.
Yeah, I know.
Healers don't get to enjoy the game.
I'm not that cleric anymore.
Aww.
That was me in EverQuest.
Aww. And it is your turn.
It is.
EverQuest.
So many hours.
Right back in the field.
6 years that stole my, Is this
About
guy
the same here.
undead?
They're all undead.
They're all undead.
Yeah.
Well then.
Oh, the cleric's going to get into her book of clericiness.
Yes. Let's see. How far away are they, and can I see them from where I'm
If you come up and join the group, there's even an empty square right there.
at? Okay. So how far away are they?
Like 10 feet.
15 feet.
Turn undead.
So you channel your divinity.
Yes.
You whip out your holy symbol, and what do you say?
Go the fuck away.
And what's your spell DC for that?
How poetic.
I know, right? 12. And remember, they get cloaked in a black inky aura.
Inky aura of badness.
Yes.
As immediately you fire that off, and this like wave of dark energy comes out of you and hits both of them, and you notice them literally start clicking and clacking. Their joints are shaking in pure undead fear, and they seem to be preparing to run through this door that is also slightly ajar.
Uh-oh.
That happened to me when I ate some bad Mexican food.
Yeah.
Well then.
All right.
So they seem like they're getting ready to run. Just turn tailbone, and run.
Okay. Well,
That's the pun.
Yes, it had to be in there somewhere. Wizard, you saw the divine magic that is not in any way superior
we'll
to
see.
your
I've
arcane
moved.
magic.
I've done this. I don't think I have anything else I can do, can I? Because I don't have any secondaries.
Bonus action wise,
I don't think.
I think just a healing spell.
Yeah, so I don't think anybody needs a heal right now.
Nope.
So.
Everyone's untouched.
So, next.
So it's me?
Yep. Top of the order.
All right. They are fleeing that way.
You can tell that they are getting ready to run through this room and get away from the danger, which is the Dark Queen of Death. Her death power trumps their death power.
I'm going to strike at that one with a green flame blade. Green flame blade.
Staff.
Again. Try this again.
Okay.
16.
That will hit.
So it's 1d8 plus fire damage. So that's 10 points, and then the fire damage.
So 10 points of blunt.
Yeah.
Notice how I said that? 10 points of blunt.
Oh, well, okay. So I declared this one as the target. And that's what happens, but then the next creature, green flame, leaps to the second target within 5 feet and takes fire damage equal to your spellcasting ability, which is plus 2.
Okay,
so it takes 2 points of fire damage.
So you're striking the one that the paladin already hit, and he
Well, I declared this one as the target.
Oh, sorry, I thought you...
And then, yeah, I meant to burn that one, but it ended up...
Okay, so you hit the one that the ranger pockmarked with thorns, and do a little more damage to him. He's still moving around. He's got some cracks going through his skull. He's got some pockmarks. And then your flame leaps across to the other one, and immediately the bone powder catches flame with your green flame, and for a second it's completely illuminated with green flame.
So you got black.
As it just instantly crumbles from the heat, and the pieces of blackened bone hit the ground.
Nice. And then as the other one walks through, I just put my quarterstaff between its legs. It's running.
It's
away.
going to be running
Yeah.
away.
Oh, yeah.
He put himself in a very good position. Okay, so Paladin.
I'm going to go step over the other door.
Okay. And unfortunately, it failed its save, so it cannot. So you're going to go here, or...
Yeah, I'm going to block the door.
Okay. So it does not get an attack of opportunity because it's devoting everything to running.
I dared.
It's very terrified.
Yeah.
Yeah. As it's interesting, you went to that door.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it's super interesting. Okay. All this clamoring noise, all these great things going on. Ranger, what would you like to do?
Me back in place of me. I will do what a ranger does and fire my bow.
So you want to
the
come inside the room?
So I'm not. It's not a disadvantage. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's still at range, right?
It's
That's
not running anymore. Because the creature is turned for 1 minute or until it takes damage.
Oh.
So it is no longer running in fear.
I didn't know that. I disavow any knowledge of divine magic.
That's fine. For next time.
So
17.
That will hit.
Yes. And that will do 9
9 points of piercing damage.
piercing damage. Yes.
That's good to know. Because as your arrow goes through, it goes in one eye socket and just shatters the back of the skull cap.
Ooh.
As it goes falling back.
Back into the left.
And just explodes into a pile of stray bones with some weird brownish must coming off of it.
Yes. Yes.
As the cleric puts on her gag.
Breathing fire.
Okay, so at that moment, since it is the skeleton's turn, the door that you're standing next to that's ajar, all of a sudden a very large hand comes reaching in. Since you're right there, all not being sneaky at all.
Blink, 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 blink.
It's the nearest thing I got that's perfectly large size. As go ahead and give me a athletics or a acrobatics check. As someone's going to be wrestling you. Because damn you and tiny doors. Oh, that's dirty. That's super dirty.
Is it not being good for you?
Apparently. We joke that the pink dice are the bad dice. This dice is the one that gives me down to 20s all the time.
19.
Okay, as this giant, and I'm saying giant hand, reaches in to grab you, as the door just slams open, because obviously it could hear you standing on the other side of this open door, bashing away. And the fingers just brush against your shield, and then pull back, and you're realizing that there's a minotaur skeleton on the other side of this open door.
A minotaur skeleton.
A minotaur skeleton.
That's freaking awful.
That's a lot of nuts.
I mean, you could always do a perception roll if you want to stick around there on your turn. I mean, just saying. But cleric, it's your turn. You realize that they killed the skeleton that you wanted to scare away. The bastards. Huh?
I know, right?
No, you hit and went over here.
No, I didn't hit.
You just,
No.
That's true.
Yeah,
you
you
just
did-
walked
you just
past.
moved.
I just walked.
Hand came out.
The hand came out on the skeleton's turn.
Okay.
Well then.
You saw the big bleached yellow bone hand come swiping in the doorway and pull back out. And we're talking, a foot wide wrist.
Wow. Well, I can't actually do anything because I can't technically see it at the moment.
You can move.
I can move, and that's what I was going to do.
You can go stand up and reinforce our ally here and see
Well,
what
I
he's
don't want to
looking
get
at.
back. I want to.
I thought you embraced death.
I want to. Not my own.
She embraces death. She doesn't want to embrace her.
Right.
So I will be out of range of the big old hand, but
All right.
if he gets hit, then I'm right there for him.
It's good teamwork.
Yeah,
To spare the dying.
Okay,
Yeah.
exactly.
and with you standing there looking, you're realizing there is this large minotaur skeleton that's kind of like hunched to reach in the doorway because you can tell it can't fit through that doorway without squeezing through. It is in a bad situation. And that's a good place to wrap it up there.
Thank you for listening to the Creative Play and Podcast Network. And feel free to enjoy our other shows, such as D&D Journey of the 5th Edition and Scion Ragnarok and Roll, a Scion hero to Ragnarok story. Thank you for listening.
Hello, this is Eric.
And Wendy Strog with Stone Valley Hobby and Games.
We sell board games, card games, role-playing games, and supplies. We have thousands of Magic the Gathering cards available, carry Kickstarter products, and work with veteran-owned small businesses to bring you our own line of products.
We are a small business retailer, but we offer competitive prices, a loyalty system, and free shipping on orders over $100.
As a military veteran myself, I'm a strong supporter of our armed forces, their families, and contractors out there doing the hard job. So any order from an AA, AE, or EP address will be shipped absolutely free.
Remember, StoneValleyGames.com, where we take your leisure seriously.
So at some point when you're getting to where you basically are and you conveniently will find a old library to the dragon that used to live here, there's a record in one of his books of a goblin ziggurat.
Oh boy.
Which, of course, back when the dragon was alive in this castle was sung hundreds of years ago, the ziggurat was not in the middle of a nasty swamp, but now it's in a nasty swamp. Is that a good jumping point for the next chapter of your story? Now that you have a home base, and you may or may not have a magic tree that makes magic apples.
So what we're saying is this is going to be our established home base.
Yeah.
If you wanted to, I
That
mean,
would be-
You were
you
in session 0. I was.
I know,
But you've slept since?
but I have slept since then.
because it is a nice place to have a goblin warren because it's off the beaten path. Even if you don't have a magic
Yeah, but
tree.
getting in and out though, then we have to deal with rats getting in here.
Well, that's because, the goblins leave the rats. They feed the rats. They play with the rats. You can choose to keep the rats. I mean, you have people with animal handling.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I think it's cool.
Or did you guys want to do something else? Because you could always go merc yourself to the human community. Because, you do have enough hobgoblins to say that we're mercs and sell our services out.
That could be fun.
Because there is that whole idea of, hobgoblin mercs until they realize they're stronger than you and they decide to take over.
But we're trying to rebuild an empire.
Yeah.
And discover more of the secrets of what it means to be a goblinoid. What was your lost, forgotten history?
Right. So I think a ziggurat
Yeah.
makes total sense.
Yeah.
No, that's
Especially
kind of what I was
if an
thinking.
ancient dragon's writing a book about an ancient goblin stronghold.
It's probably a huge book.
Yeah. Well,
If a dragon wrote
it's
it.
probably a really big book that's rotted really well.
Or it's got one letter on each page.
D. R. Polymorph. It's not just for writing in books.
All right.